want to thank you for joining us on this edition of Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and I'm going to talk a little bit about October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And joining us from Peace River Center, that would be Melissa Irving. Welcome to the show, or should I say, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I want to talk with you a little bit about the gig. How long you been with Peace River, and talk to me a little bit about the job that you have.
Absolutely. So I've been with Peace River Center for about 24 years. I recently just moved into the Domestic Violence Outreach Program Manager. Before that, I was the Rape Recovery Program Manager. And so I am now over the Domestic Violence Outreach Team, which encompasses advocates, courthouse advocate, case manager, CPI advocate, and a primary prevention relocation specialist.
So let's talk a little bit, break down that team a little bit more.
Absolutely.
When you talk about advocates, and when you talk about, break down each one just
Absolutely.
a little bit more. What do the advocates do?
So our advocates are available to help survivors of domestic violence, help them with safety planning, help them with relocating, help them with finding ways to get out of a domestic violence relationship by empowering them with resources, just support, teaching them financial stability, those type of things that survivors tend to struggle with before leaving or after leaving a domestic violence relationship.
Now, you had mentioned about relocation. We just recently had Jessica Borga. She is a world champion bare knuckles boxing champion, and she is doing a lot with domestic violence, and that's one of the things that she's working on itself. Talk a little bit about your relocation program.
Absolutely. So one, we are a certified domestic violence program, and our relocation assistance can happen in two ways. So if a survivor has reported the incident, a battery incident, to law enforcement gives them a report. They can come in and apply for Office of Attorney General's relocation assistance. And because we're a certified domestic violence shelter, we're the only program in Polk County and Highlands that can offer that service to survivors. And so they have to have their police report, cooperate with law enforcement, and they are able to apply for up to $1,500 in relocation assistance. Well, now we know that in this current day and age that is absolutely not enough for someone to be able to relocate. We are grateful for that program, and many survivors take advantage of it. We also do provide a level of relocation assistance through our program, through our funding, one of our funding sources, that the survivor does not have to have a police report, but just have to be in that imminent need, and we'll assist them to the best of our ability with relocation assistance in security deposit, first month's rent. Sometimes people just only want us to be able to pay maybe a utility bill for them to get from one place to the other, but we do have that assistance available.
In the opening, we heard about over 13,000 cases in 2022. Those were just reported, but many more, as the script said, go unreported. Why don't these get reported?
Absolutely. So many survivors are afraid. Their perpetrator or their abuser is the person that they love and they care about. They are also afraid of maybe DCF coming in and taking their children away from them. They may not have support systems outside of that abusive partner that they can go and stay at their house or relocate out of state. Funding is, like, again, a huge barrier. So if I have a family member in Michigan, how am I going to get me and my 5 kids to Michigan? And so we try to help survivors navigate that barrier. We do have a domestic violence shelter here in Polk County. We're not in Highlands County, that we try to serve our local survivors, but we will bring survivors in from out of county if they need to relocate to our area. But survivors just sometimes they just don't know that they can. They don't have the strength to. They have to be empowered to be able to, like, this is something that I can do. And so we safety plan with survivors even while they're in their domestic violence relationships.
You've seen the many faces that this job can bring through the different gigs that you've had. Talk to me about success stories that you have been a part of or you have seen that could inspire others out there maybe facing the same thing go forward within their life.
Absolutely. So we've had survivors who have come through our shelter, transition to our outreach program, and we have that case manager who helps the survivor with things once they leave the shelter. So child care assistance, be able to help them find and gainful employment, which we had got this survivor connected with Christian brothers who donated a vehicle for this survivor. And the survivor, like, that was a huge barrier for her to be able to get back and forth to work. And so through their beautiful donation of this vehicle, the survivor was able to sustain her violent-free lifestyle and have the ability to provide financially for her and her children.
Now, you had mentioned, I think that's the second time you had mentioned folks getting behind and either by grants or by donations. How can folks, if they have the resources available, help you to help others?
Absolutely. So on our website, peaceservicecenter.org, we have a wish list of items that are needed in the shelter and through our outreach program that they can go to Amazon and donate directly, to us from that wish list. They can drop items off to our office over at 1831 North Crystal Lake Drive, or just at peaceservicecenter.com. There's a financial donation that they can make towards our programs. But they have to say that it's for victim services, specifically domestic violence program. So those funds are allocated for domestic violence survivors.
We know that October is just one out of 12 months that's really featured for domestic violence awareness, and this is something that should be year-round. But what are some of the programs that you are making available to folks that may need the help, that may want the help, but don't know how to navigate the minefield per se?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we do is a lot of community outreach. We join a lot of community events so that we have a table, information, an advocate there. Advocates are there to take information, give information. Also, we meet a lot of survivors at those community events. And so they may be in that relationship and they don't know, like you said, how to even get the help that they need. We also accept walk-ins into our office Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. And so we make sure that community partners have our information to be able to share with survivors. During this month of October, we are going to be in the community a lot. One of our highlighted events, we are trying to put together a community stand, #WithSurvivors, out in Munn Park on October the 22nd from 10 to 11. And so that's one of the things that we're doing to just support survivors, just let people know that survivors are out there and they do need support,
One of the things, tools available to you, and you talked about a movie night, but due to Netflix and so many people watching and licenses being required, talk about maybe this is a great movie that folks can check out. Tell me a little bit about the movie and why it's so something that can touch each and every person's soul that watches it.
Absolutely. So the movie is called It Is With Us. It's on Netflix. It's starring Lily Bloom. The movie highlights, to me, a beautiful relationship. Just a woman chasing her dreams, falling in love with a person who is financially stable. And then all of a sudden, his dark, subtle ways just start to pop up in the relationship that are just uncommon but practical, and it sets her in a place of like, oh, I think I'm in a bad situation, but not really knowing how to get out of that situation, because we oftentimes look at domestic violence survivors and we are looking for bruises, we're looking for, the head's hung low, or, we're looking for physical incidences or physical symptoms of domestic violence. But when survivors are suffering in silence because of financial abuse, because of emotional abuse, names being put down, and that's what you see in this movie, a lot of subtle, hidden domestic violence that people won't just take it at first look, identify that is absolutely domestic violence happening.
In your years of working within this, what are some of the things that, like they said, they see this movie and they say this, what are some of the other things that folks should look for in domestic violence that are red flags per se?
Absolutely. When a perpetrator and a survivor are out together, look at how they talk to each other. If the perpetrator is giving the survivor a look and she immediately gets herself together, or if the survivor is afraid to speak up for herself, if the perpetrator is only talking for the survivor, those are little red flags that you might say, You know, is there a power and control dynamic? Now, we see power and control in a lot of different relationships, but it's to the extent in which a perpetrator exerts the power over the situation. And so financial abuse is one that we, you know, don't see. We see a lot of, but people don't recognize it until it's too late. So lately, we've been seeing a lot of survivors are the people who, the person who is sustaining the relationship, and the perpetrators are waiting for the survivors to bring the money home to them, and then they control that. That is absolutely a red flag of domestic violence. Belittling the person in front of their children is another sign of domestic violence, and so those are huge red flags for us.
We've got just a few minutes left. What I want you to do, is there anything that we didn't touch on event-wise that we want to make sure that people know about?
Absolutely. So October the 18th at 2 p.m. at our Children's Services office, which is on Williamsburg. I don't have the address. We will be showing snippets of this movie, It Ends With Us. We call the event Excerpts with the Experts. And so we will be able to show some snippets of the movie, and we're going to have a domestic violence advocate team panel who are going to be able to share with the audience about what they see in the movie.
Okay, with what remaining time that we have left, if there's someone out there that might be experiencing this, inspire them to make the call, to reach out for the help that they can get within this community.
Absolutely. So it's never too late to make the call, never too early to make the call. You can call us at our 24-hour crisis hotline, 863-413-2700. The advocates are there. There's a live advocate there to take your call, just talk to you, comfort you through whatever it is that your call is about. Please just know that domestic violence doesn't end. We want you to be empowered to make a step for whatever your relationship looks like. Please just get some resources to be able to navigate your relationship. We are here for you. Yeah.
She is Melissa Irving with Peace River Center. Melissa, I want to thank you for coming in and joining us. And anytime that you have a program that you need to highlight, anything that we can do for you or Peace River, the chair is yours. Come back and see us, will you please?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Every October, organizations across the world focus on increasing awareness about domestic violence. Throughout the month, Peace River Center's Domestic Violence Services will host and partner with other agencies for a variety of events and activities to help raise awareness of domestic violence, provide resources, and engage the community in supporting survivors. Peace River Center Victim Services 24-hour domestic violence hotlines for Polk County. That number, 863-413-2700. And if you need more information about programs and campaigns, look them up on the web at www.peacerivercenter.org/DV awareness. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.